I have partnered up with Alois to make a brand new Mordekaiser and Garen guide on the Summoner School website. I gave out every single piece of information that I thought was relevant to both champions and everything that I use personally. It explains how you should play in the mid to late game, itemization, champion matchups, and more. Each guide also has a unique matchup spreadsheet. If you want to check either guide out, you can use my link in the video description. With all that being said, please enjoy this video. There won't be any audio until level 11 or 12, and then it will return afterwards. In my opinion, this is kind of a skill matchup. Singed can look to proxy into you, but honestly you don't care that much because it means you get the stack for free. That being said, the stacks don't mean a thing if you can't actually reach the Singed or someone to tag them with your Q. You can literally have 5,000 stacks, but if you can't get to someone to actually Q them to deal that high damage, it doesn't matter. If you just get permakited, you're useless. And Singe can disrupt you very well in teamfights. He can fling you off of his team, and he can also use his W to slow you down really hard. This is why I prefer to just perma side lane into Singed. You can go for a hole breaker, and then he won't be able to kill the cannon minion quickly. And then you can just melt the turret from right under his nose. In this situation, Singed also took phase rush, meaning that if I try to wither him and chase him down, it's gonna be basically impossible for me to catch up. I need to make sure that phase rush is down before I can chase. And even when it's down, he can just place down his W and slow me down, or he can purchase Rylai and then I'm perma slowed when I chase him. In the early game, he might try to fight me, especially around level 2 or 3 to actually get a kill angle with his ignite, maybe his ghost. But again, I'm not super scared. My fleet footwork combined with absorb life, second wind, endurance shield will do a lot here. I can just perma sustain with my passive and all that healing and basically ignore Singed completely. If he leaves the lane after he proxies, that's totally fine with me because it means his top lane quest will slow down in progress by a lot. The moment I acquire Sheen, he basically can't trade into me. If he just walks up to fling me and then run away, I can just always tag him with my Q no matter what. Since Nasus Q is an uncancelable auto attack, I can use my Q just before he flings me, and that way I will deal the damage to him. Not to mention the fact that whenever he uses his fling, he burns a lot of mana. I also have to watch out whenever his ultimate is up because it applies heal cut, and I need to make sure I'm not heal debuffed. Normally I rush Trinity Force, but you can also go Sheen into Spirit Visage if you want to be hyper omega safe and ensure that he never deals any damage to you. Here, Singed ends up going for a proxy, and honestly, I probably shouldn't have chased him. It's genuinely not worth it. Eventually, this forces him to come back to the lane, but I shouldn't have chased as much as I did. It's not actually worth it to burn my ghost for Singed, but the reason I do it is because I gain other stuff aside from the kill. Because Singed dies on this play, it means his top lane quest gets delayed even further, which means his free teleport comes online later. And it also means I can push up the tower even more and not have to worry about Singed Parma clearing the wave.
Killing spree.
The entire lane comes down to you managing to proc down his passive with your E. If his passive is up, you can't ult him, and usually you will lose the 1v1 later on if you actually don't proc the passive off. In the early game, it's not that bad, but later on, you definitely need it down every single time you fight him, or else you just can't ult him. After level 15, whenever he picks up the canister on the ground, he will fully refresh his passive. So you always have to destroy it after 15 if you have any chance of ulting him. Heal cut is also very good into him because he will heal a lot with his W and ultimate. So you can get an early Oblivion Orb if you wish. What I like to do is play for my Rylai spike. The moment I acquire that Rylai, I try to freeze on my side of the lane. And then he won't be able to walk up because if I can proc down his passive, I can straight up ulti him even from max range. Even if he uses his ultimate, he won't be able to escape. Unless he uses both Ghost and ultimate. And if the Mundo is not running Ghost and is instead running Flash, he's forced to Flash. Mundo will also buy a ton of health, so if you want, you can go Liandry's Torment second and then Bloodletter's Curse third. And that way you will hyper Omega Shred him. If they have other tanks on their team, it's gonna be even better to go for this 3-core. Don't leave the side lane without pushing it out first. You always want to do this because you will melt your towers. Generally speaking though, it's not that good to go into teamfights against Mundo. When he gets his rank 3 ultimate, his healing gets increased based on the amount of people near him. Here, I wasn't sure if I should use my ultimate on Cho'Gath or Kha'Zix, because Kha'Zix has the combo of Q Smite, but Cho'Gath has his feast damage. In the end, what ended up happening is that Kha'Zix smited just before I used my ultimate onto Cho'Gath. Most likely, Kha'Zix smited early so that Cho'Gath can feast the dragon, but because I used my ultimate on Cho'Gath, it allowed Malphite to steal it. This matchup isn't that difficult, it's just about being patient. In this case, I took Aftershock and not Grasp of the Undying because I don't really want to short trade that much with Trundle. However, because I am the way I am, I still want to fight him even though I didn't even take Grasp of the Undying, so my short trading is worse. But my all-in is much stronger. Ksante's damage scales based off of his bonus armor and MR, and Aftershock gives you a lot of bonus armor and MR once you proc it. So if I am able to proc that Aftershock and get my fully charged W onto him in my all-out form, I can basically take 30% of his health, maybe even more just from that fully charged W. It also means my Q does more damage, and even my regular charged W does more damage if I manage to proc the Aftershock with my third Q knockup. What Trundle can do when he sees me pop my Aftershock is use his ultimate on me. Trundle ulti steals 40% of current resists. If, let's say, Aramis has his W on and Trundle ults him, he will steal heal 40% from those bonus resists. But the moment his W goes down, he will still have the resist stolen. So that means he can use his ultimate on me when I have Aftershock on, and I will literally go to like 30 armor. And in that case, I have to disengage or I lose. But he is rather slow even with his W. If you manage to tag him with your W and just space him, you're gonna be just fine in this lane. In this case, they had an almost full AD team comp outside of Akali. I can rush a Bramble Vest and cut out his healing in the 1v1, and then afterwards I can go for like 2 Chain Vests and he never deals any damage to me. If I am hard winning, I can just go 1 Chain Vest and then go into my Iceborne straight up. But again, it's just about being patient, and I don't really like to be patient. Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.
I am favored by the gods and awaited in the Hall of Bones.